It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. We begin with the Jesup Police Department press release on the shooting at the Food Line parking lot, which occurred back on April 17th. Chief Perry Morgan says the police department responded to a 911 call for a report for a possible shooting in the Food Line parking lot. The caller gave a description of the subjects involved in the incident. Upon officers' arrival, several subjects were seen running from the scene that matched the description given by the caller. 4 of the individuals allegedly involved were apprehended by law enforcement officers in the area of Food Line. Detectives then began processing the scene where the shooting occurred. Several unoccupied vehicles in the parking lot were struck with bullets, but no pedestrians were struck. 2 firearms and spent shell casing were found in the area of the parking lot. Several statements were taken from witnesses that were on scene at the time that the shooting occurred. All the subjects detained were interviewed at a later time. Two additional suspects have been identified as allegedly being involved in the shooting. They are Maurice Goodman Jr. and Marquavius Goodman, have been identified as persons of interest and are wanted by questioning by the Jesup Police Department at this time. Chief Perry Morgan would like to extend a special thanks to the Wayne County Sheriff's Office for their immediate response and assistance with the incident. They state the investigation is still active and ongoing, and more information will be released at the conclusion of the investigation. On April 11th of this year, the Jesup Police Department received a walk-in report of a domestic dispute. After investigating the report, it was discovered that a domestic violence incident occurred where Jamarcus Chansey allegedly fired shots at his ex-girlfriend and sent her threatening text messages. As a result of the investigation conducted by detectives with the Jesup PD, a warrant for aggravated assault has been issued for the arrest of Jamarcus Chansey. Chief Perry Morgan encourages anyone with information pertaining to either of these cases to contact the Jesup PD at 912-427-1300. Wayne County School Board met Monday morning in a call meeting after personnel executive session. On a 4-1 vote, named Jason Brown the new principal at Scriven Elementary. Board member Sharon Daniel voted against it. Brown will transfer from health and PE teacher or principal to principal effective July 17th of this year. Brown has served 19 years in education, most of it, if not all, in Scriven Elementary. Popular choice, the mayor and the city council of Scriven wrote to the superintendent and board members' email encouraging to appoint Jason Brown, as they felt that was the overwhelming majority of the residents in Scriven's sentiment. Teachers and students wanted Jason Brown to land the job, and he does. Again, he takes over effective July 17th. Also under personnel, 1 certified resignation, Catherine Fikes, Jesup Elementary. One other personnel note, WIFO-FM received word from head basketball coach Demetrius Gray this week that he'll be leaving Wayne County to be closer to home. Coach Ray's been with Wayne County the past 8 years. We wish him well, but again, Wayne County now in search of a new head basketball coach for the boys basketball program at Wayne County High School. The main item on the agenda Monday for the school board was once again the discussion of middle school athletics. And on hand, Athletic Director Justin McDonald, Assistant AD J-Bo Shaw, along with middle school AD Sheila Brockington and Jamie Knight. All are on board with combining the middle school athletic programs into one for a variety of reasons, but the main one, they state, is because the athletic leadership feels it's the best interest for the kids of Wayne County and the best for the overall athletic department. Athletic Director Justin McDonald spoke before the Board of Education and had the following comments.
The conference we're in now, and I'll let them speak on that here in a second. But we're already outnumbered in our conference and by other schools by, in some cases, 400 kids. There's some schools that have close to 400 more kids than what we have in one of our middle schools. So, we're already at a disadvantage as far as the number of students. And I think right now, Long's got 959 and growing. Pierce has 807. Ware has 803. Waycross 617. Brantley has 491, but that's not even counting their 6th graders. So, a lot of these schools are substantially bigger than us already. So we're already at a disadvantage as far as the numbers wise. So, which would allow, if we combine, then we would just be a touch above what they are now. So basically playing on the same field of what they are. And, that stuff's going to be presented as well. But transportation, we're already providing transportation for tennis, track, wrestling, cheers, softball, and baseball. That's just for practice. All right, we're already providing that for them to go to practice every day. So I can assure you, I've got tasked with being the athletic director job, and I can assure you that kids are going to get to where they need to be on time. Parents are going to know that's just part of being an educator and taking kids' interests at heart. They're going to get to where they need to be on time, and they're going to be able to practice, develop, and do it at a high level. And that's the vision going forward with this. Again, the people behind me, I know we got a great athletic staff, and we're going to fight to make it happen, and because I think it's going to benefit everybody if we get outside the vision of what could go wrong. There's going to be everything would change. There's stuff that comes up, pros and cons, but I can assure you that we will work them out and that we're doing what's best for each kid and what the coaches in our athletic department as well.
And again, those comments, Athletic Director Justin McDonald. In the end, at the end of the meeting, there was no decision, but the meeting, board member Sharon Daniel has already stated she's not in favor of the merger. Had middle school current principal speak, Arthur Williams, Jeremy Foreman, who has resigned and won't be in Wayne County next year, and Martha Puckett Middle School principal Timothy White, who had the following comments.
That was the logistic about kids leaving the classroom. The travel we probably have to make if the conference didn't keep us within the conference. That was one of the concerns. Another concern came up last week when I heard this term, equity. Now that applies to the coaches as well as the players. That's another thing I have concern about. And those are decisions that could impact either school. If you got more coaches at one school, it's going to impact the school that does not have many coaches, many head coaches, should I say. But you're going to have the grappling and you're going to be grumbling about what not having a position like. So I do not want to have that argument between two schools. I do not want that. I want to try to merge the schools. But those are my two main concerns, is the logistic and the equity. But if we can find a resolution, I'm all for it. But once again, thank God I'm not in your position to make this decision.
The word equity was used several times at this board meeting by board member Sharon Daniels and the two principals who spoke. Interesting that incoming Martha Puckett principal Michael Ward, or Arthur Williams principal Michael Ward, was at the meeting, but he wasn't asked to speak, which was hard to understand as he's a former coach and knows athletics. The word equity refers to fairness and justice and is distinguished from equality. Equality means providing the same to all. Equity means recognizing that we do not all start from the same place and must acknowledge and make adjustments to imbalances. For the record, Athletic Director Justin McDonald and football coach Jesup Shaw, assistant AD, and the two middle school coaches are there to support all kids, and to them, I'm certain all kids are treated equal. How equity got into Monday's conversation is still a mystery, and unfortunately, none of the other board members had much to say at all. Joe McPipkin simply said no decision would be reached Monday, and once again, the issue has been tabled. Jesup Shaw wasn't able to speak. No one asked him for his view of the merger. Board member Sharon Daniels spoke and asked questions for most of the meeting, and she's already said she's against the merger. All that taking place at Monday's school board meeting. Joe McPipkin says they meet again next week. We'll follow the story to see if any decision is made, but to throw the word equity into this conversation just to this reporter knowing Justin McDonald and Jesup Shaw was simply out of bounds. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, the county commissioners met Monday night due to the doubleheader baseball game at Howard Bo Warnerfield. I wasn't able to attend in person, but we'll have a more detailed report on tomorrow's newscast. We can report that once again, no decision was made under old business concerning the rapid response position for EMS. That was tabled once again. As we reported, we had EMS Director Richard Johnson on last week's Butch and Bob show to explain to our listening audience what the rapid response position entails and whether or not he felt it was an important position. Well, we learned yesterday that for appearing on the Butch and Bob show, EMS Director Richard Johnson has been written up and admonished, saying he violated county employee policy regarding social media. Last time I checked, the Butch and Bob show is not social media. As I've stated many times on the Butch and Bob show, I don't have social media at all. I have no Facebook page, no Twitter, no nothing. I have a cell phone and can text messages, and that's about it. Why is Richard Johnson being admonished for appearing on our show? The EMA Director, Donnie Ray, appears frequently. He hasn't been written up, and I could list several more examples. The show is on our website, and again, I invited Richard Johnson personally to appear on our show for the sole purpose of explaining to our listening audience what the rapid response position is and what it does, as I had attended several meetings and felt who better to explain the position than a nearly 20-year veteran with EMS. Hopefully the new County Administrator Paul Droddy can address this. It seems unfair and unnecessary to scold the EMS Director for appearing on our show. Does this mean no commissioner can appear on the show, or the sheriff can't appear, or any other county employee who comes on the show to simply provide information? I've been here 40-plus years. I've never heard of such. It's actually happened, though. EMS Director Richard Johnson written up for violating a policy about social media. Again, this isn't a social media platform. It's a media platform, but it's a live news and sports show and a live Butch and Bob show, which has been running for more than 25 years. On Friday, we have governor scheduled. I might want to call him to make certain he won't be reprimanded. Again, this is absurd. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes news, City Commissioners of Jesup meet this evening at 7 p.m. at City Hall. On the agenda under old business, discussion of McMillan Creek Greenway Boardwalk with Commissioner Stanley Todd. Under new business, update on the Wayne County Joint Board of Tourism Activities and Financials. Tourism Board Director Heather Altman on hand for that. Discussion of appointment to the Independence Day Board with City Manager Rose Marcus. Discussion to amend the 2022-2023 SPLOST budget to purchase new ladder truck with City Manager Rose Marcus. And the first reading of the redistricting ordinance with City Attorney Michael Connor. Items with the city manager, items with the commissioners, items with the mayor, all that tonight at 7 p.m. at City Hall. Have a full report for you tomorrow here on the local news. Speaking of the Tourism Board, the time is near to fish in the Wayne County Board of Tourism's annual Wayne County Catfish Tournament set for June 3rd and 4th. That tournament begins Saturday, June 3rd at 12 noon and continues until Sunday, June 4th at 12 noon. This year's tournament offers anglers the opportunity to win a $7,500 first place payout, with other place payouts determined by the number of entries into the event. Weigh-in and tournament headquarters will once again be at JC Fairgrounds at JC Landing. Those fishing the tournament can put in anywhere on the Altamar River, but they must be in line at weigh-in at the JC Fairgrounds by 12 noon on Sunday. Tournament officials ask entrants to please note you must come to the fairgrounds to receive your T-shirt. Entry fee for the event is $100 per fisherman, a minimum of at least 2 fishing in a boat. Big fish pod entry is $10 per fisherman. Registration can be done online at www.active.com or can be dropped off at the Tourism Board's office in the depot. Registration packets are available online at the Jesup Trade Depot. If you need more information, call the Tourism Board office at 912-427-3233 or check out the event website at www.waynetourism.com. You can also register on site Saturday morning. And the fish are out and they're waiting for the boats June 3rd and 4th, the annual Wayne County Catfish Tournament on the mighty Altamar River. This Thursday is National Day of Prayer, and here in Wayne County, a community prayer service is scheduled for the Wayne County Courthouse, in front of the courthouse at 12 noon. The public is invited to attend. Once again, that ceremony this Thursday at 12 noon at the Wayne County Courthouse. That's going to do it for the latest in local news. Sports coming your way in a few minutes. We'll talk about Wayne County going to the Elite Eight this Saturday. All that and more coming up in sports. Bob Morgan saying have a great day.